In this video I'll be looking at an aerial photograph of Colliers Wood in 1924. It's on the Historic England website and I'll put a link in the description below. The photograph was taken on the 21st of June 1924. So let's zoom in. We'll start at the bottom. Here is the Royal Six Bells pub. There are tram lines on this road, and here's a tram. It's like one of those double deckers with the staircase at the back, or the front, depends on which way you're looking at it. And just off to the west of the high street, this triangular building was a laundry. You can see the chimney there. And here's an open air swimming pool. This was built in 1913 and demolished in 1930 something. So probably not many people watching this video realise it was there. The area came under the Mitcham Urban District Council, and when the swimming baths were built in Mitcham in 1932, the council decided they only needed one bath, so that's why they knocked this one down. We're looking at the High Street Colliers Wood, going from south to north. This road here is Christchurch Road. If we continue up the High Street to the junction with Christchurch Road, we can see here this building site is where the Colliers Wood Underground station was being built as a part of the extension of the Northern Line that went as far as Morden. And it was all open for running in 1926, 100 years ago. Zoom in a bit. Some more trams. That looks like a double decker. London County Council tram, probably. I'm sure tram experts will say, oh, I think you'll find that's a such and such. So I won't try and attempt to identify it from this photograph. But anyway, this area here is where the underground station was being built. And the fields to the back were owned by one of the many colleges. A lot of the land around here was owned by colleges. They sold off half of it for development. And around here would be the housing area of South Garden, North Garden. But also there would be a row of shops built along here as well. So I say there's a single gate school, which in 1924 only appears to be one building, or probably the other building is there. There were two schools, I think, one for infants and one for juniors, or middle school, I suppose. And this is where the Lyon house was built, the ugly great grey block of a building, which has now been covered in cladding to make it look better. And it's residential flats now. It looks like a fair amount of industry going on here. So what further north can we see? Quite a lot of trams, weren't there? A good tram service. So this would be Cavendish Road and Bygrove. Housing on either side. There looks like another development going on there. So let's have a look at some maps. So this map is 1894. And what was there before the underground station was built? A fire station and a smithy. So what we saw just now was this area here, and there's the Royal Six Bells pub, the River Wandle, the Wandle Bank Road. Bygrove. Okay. So Bygrove House. So perhaps this building site here was formerly Bygrove House, which gave its name to Bygrove Road, I suppose. Footbridge, fountain. So it's 1894. Let's try and get a bit nearer to 1924. There isn't actually a map for 1924 online, but I'll go slightly before it and slightly after it. So let's have a look at the map of 1910, 1911. The smithy is gone, but the fire station is there. Now, the thing about this fire station is that it was actually a part of the Mitcham Fire Service. This is because the boundary of Mitcham Parish and hence the Mitcham Urban District Council was on the River Wandle, which is over here. So a fair amount of Colliers Wood was in Mitcham. So there's Bygrove Road and that area. So it looks like Bygrove House was demolished before 1911. And then 1924 photograph, the aerial photograph, we see a building site there. Possibly development was delayed by the First World War. Now this pub here would be the Royal Standard. And this pub would be the Victory. Today that's called the Holden. It had been renamed the Charles Holden after the designer, the architect of the underground station. Laundry's there. But at this point, that swimming bath hasn't been built yet. I said it was built in 1913, so it's pretty close. 1911 map. Mill Pond, the River Wandle, Wandle Bank, and the Royal Six Bells. Let's go forward in time a bit. Okay, so we've jumped forward now to 1934. So now we can see the swimming baths. There's the Royal Six Bells, River Wandle, Wandle Bank, and the laundry. Doesn't actually show the chimney. But the aerial photograph was 1924, perhaps in 1934 it had been demolished. Anyway, so there's the tram lines. And now it shows the Colliers Wood Underground station, just as station. And there's a PCB, which is a police call box. And as I said, the playing fields at the back that was owned by that college, half of them was sold for development. The other half remains as a playing field. I think that's the Colliers Wood Recreation Ground now. And the houses were developed as Valley Gardens, North Gardens and South Gardens. And now we see a row of houses on where Bygrove House was, between Bygrove and College Road. And a quick note about the road names here. College and University Road are named after the fact that there was a lot of land, as I said earlier, owned by various colleges. Let's go back to the aerial photograph. So that's Bygrove Road, and there's that site for the houses that I just referred to. That's about as far as we can go. I can't see anything else that's worth pointing out. But let's now have a look at a photograph from 1967 taken from the Lyon Tower of this view. It's an Eric Montague photograph on the Merton Historical Society website. I did ask for permission to reproduce their photographs. They had a meeting and said, yeah, go ahead. So I will put in the description. Thank you for your permission from the Merton Historical Society website for letting me put the photographs on my website, video, etc. So they've got a photograph of the Lyon Tower in 1972 when it actually did say Lyon at the top. So this is looking towards Colliers Wood Tube Station, isn't it? Oh, it actually says built in 1966. And in 1967, Mr. Montague was allowed into the building, and he took this rather splendid aerial view. Let's zoom in on this. So what we're looking at here, this is the furthest extent of it. So he's in the building. We can't see the tube station from here, which is a shame, but never mind. But what we are looking at is petrol station across the road. So just before that, out of shot, would be the Royal Standard pub. And this building was Bert's Motors. And here's an ad from 1954. Not Bert as in Albert, but chap's name, B-U-R-T-S. And from these ads from 1954, they were a dealer for Hillman cars. Well, are these Hillman cars here? They might be. The Land Rover there. And very much of stuff out the back. So this is 1967. There's Bygrove Road. That looks a fairly new building. Those houses that were built on the site of Bygrove House. So Colliers Wood High Street, or High Street Colliers Wood, was originally the Roman road, Stane Road, which led all the way to London. In fact, although it's a shame he didn't have a much better lens on the camera, but you can make out some of the tower blocks in central London. Today, this view would be, you'd be able to spot the Shard, I would imagine. I'm guessing here, but I would say that large building is the Granada Cinema at Tooting, which implies that there is Tooting Broadway. Look at how many car parking spaces there are on the side roads. And here's a photograph of the Colliers Wood Underground station in 1972. And a Citroen car thing. And tobacconist. Betting shop. Probably a post office. Yes, I think that's the post office now. So I guess the Portland stone facade of the Colliers Wood station development, which can be seen here, here, and just here, would imply that all that was built at the same time as the station. And this facade is brick, possibly been rendered now, but does this suggest it was built at a later time? Anyway, that was an aerial photograph from 1924 of Colliers Wood Tube Station. And there's a 1972 photograph of the station by Eric Montague. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, press that like button, and if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, consider subscribing. Bye for now.